Hi, thanks for joining me today. My name is Lindsay. I'm the designer behind Doing the Most Design, and you can find me on Ravelry at LindsayDTMD. I can't wait to show you what I've got in store for you for today's video. So let's talk about maybe an elephant in the room, which is maybe you're not adept at two-handed knitting. That's okay. You can still do double knitting, even if you are not accustomed to two-handed knitting. One way that you might be able to handle this is if you hold your two strands together like you would normally tension. So here I have both of my yarns on my left hand because I'm a continental knitter. And I'm moving my finger to the front and to the back every single time I have a new stitch to do. So here I have a purl. I'm pulling my needle up between these two strands until I've selected my contrast color. Then I work the purl. This right here, working my knit through the back loop, I am selecting only my main color here. And then as you can see, I'm holding tension with my right index finger as I go through that. This stitch, move the yarn to the front, insert as if to purl, needle between the two strands like this, purl that stitch. This yarn over is already hopscotch, so thank you, very helpful. Inserting to knit, needle between the two strands, plucking just my main color, adding some tension with my finger. There we go. And then yarns in front, enter the stitch from behind, yarn up through these two strands until I select on the right hand side here my contrast color, and then I purl through the back loop here. There we go. So that's one way if you are a continental knitter that you can hold both strands at the same time. You'll just have to spend a little bit more time sort of like plucking which strand that you want to use per stitch. Hey, have you been learning? Have you been laughing? Leave me a comment down below about something that you got out of this video and hit that like and subscribe button for me, dude. Thanks. Now what I want us to do is to take a look at what holding both strands of yarn in your right hand, if you're an English style knitter, looks like for this double knitting technique. So here I've tensioned, my next stitch is going to be a knit stitch. So entering that, I'm going to bring my yarns over. And again, I have to split the difference between those two yarns such that I'm only picking up my main color to knit that. So moving our finger across to do this yarn over, we will have to split the difference here right next to the forefinger like that. Another option that you can do is double pass double knitting. So if you're working this hat with me, you know that in our previous video we did double pass brioche, which means that we did two passes all the way around the project per one round. We could technically do the same thing here with our double knitting up top. So what that looks like is this. We are going to slip all of the purls with the yarn in front, and we will knit all of the knit stitches. So yarn in front, we slip, yarn behind, we knit, yarn in front, we slip, yarn behind, we knit. Please note that we are not doing yarn overs with the slip. That is the brioche technique. That's not what we're doing this time. We're just holding the yarn in front while we slip the purl and then yarn in back as we knit our main colors. Then, so let's pretend I've gone a whole round doing that with two pass double knit. I would do one round all the way around with my main color yarn, and then the second pass that I would do, anytime I have a knit stitch, I'll have yarn in back and I'll slip it, bring yarn in front and purl. Yarn in back, slip stitch, yarn in front, purl. Yarn in back, slip, yarn in front, purl. with that, you could go through multiple passes. I will level with you. I think this hat is achievable with that double pass, double knitting technique, but it's going to feel quite arduous. I also think that you will have maybe a harder time reading the charts, especially the fully expanded double knit chart. But if you can do it, do it. Let me not, it's your world, and I'm just living it. Boo boo. One thing that you can do if you want to manage two strands from one side of your work at a time is to invest in doodad, which is called a Norwegian knitting thimble. I am not very adept at using these simply because I find it difficult to tension with them. This is probably my failure to use this is why I forced myself to learn how to do two-handed knitting. that's a that's a brazy admission right there. The pattern includes two charts per section. So there's a chart, there are two charts for the body section and two charts for the crown section. One chart just shows you the right side of the work. And I have that there for you so that number one, especially if you are new to knitting double knit, then when you look at the double knit chart, it is pretty intense. um, and I don't want you to be too overwhelmed by it. So I've offered up a chart that just has the right side for a couple of reasons. One, if you do follow the written instructions and you're just not sure what it's supposed to look like as you're working it up, the charts that show just the right side of the project can help keep you on track and like affirm for you that yes, you are knitting it the way that it is supposed to look. Number two, if the double knitting charts that have every single stitch indicated on them is too overwhelming or too difficult for you to read because it's too bulky, then so long as you have maintained the concept that I'm going to do one knit stitch with my yarns in back, and then one purl stitch with my yarns in front, and one knit stitch with my yarns in back, then you can just visually follow the motif as it's written for the front side, and then insert the backside stitches as you continue along. The way that you can read that one is that any stitch that you see on the right side, you will knit that color, and then you will immediately follow it with a purl in the opposite color. And you'll do that all the way around all three motifs. So if the double knit stitch looks a little too hard to read or it's too intimidating, I have provided it just for the sake of thoroughness, especially for people who want to get really, really, really meticulous with it. I also like to get meticulous with it, so it's there for you because we're one and the same. But if you're also somebody who's like, whoa, that looks like too much, then here's a simplified version, provided that you can just remember that any knit that you see on the chart, you will have to do a purl stitch in the double knitting format where you're moving your threads back and forth over your needles. Thanks for making it to the end of this video. If you have not done it yet, hit like and subscribe so you can be notified when I put out more content for you. I'd love for you to connect with me on Ravelry at Lindsay DTMD. Check out my link tree for a collection of my projects. And if you're able to, leave a cash tip for me at my Ko-Fi page. All links are in the video description below. Don't forget to be kind to yourself as you learn, and thanks for spending your time with me. Bye!